Hey guys, you're watching Chaotic TV. We are bringing you Game 3 of this PvT from IEM Katowice from the round of 8. In the bottom left of Cloud Kingdom, these players have switched colors, but this is the red Terran this time. He plays for Team Empire. He is Kas. And his opponent in the top right of Cloud Kingdom, the blue Protoss this time, playing for Team Alternate. He is Socke. And we saw that Empire Kas's macro was able to kick in, and his production was the one that outranked Socke's in the last game. Since Socke went for a little bit of a different composition, and the more macro style play, he thought he could take out Kas with some Colossi. The Colossus were really demolished, is the best word I can figure it out, by the early Viking production of Kas. He sacrificed his medevac production and built Vikings, got an extra Viking upgrade, so that he could indeed knock out those Colossi without fail. All three of them were flanked and sniped by Marauders and Vikings, and the gateway units and even their reinforcements were just knocked out by the heavy Marauder production of Kas. Kas was able to get all of his production facilities built because he didn't go for that third very early. He built up to over 100 supply before he got that third, which is, you know, it's probably good. He's probably going to do it again because it worked so well in the last game. You see a lot of players, they decide to go from game to game, even on a winning streak. They will continue up with the same kind of play, or they'll do something kind of just off the wall. It's never kind of you don't see anything but super veteran players like MC, or mainly Koreans, are the ones that do alternate builds when they are up. So Kas is actually pardon me, taking an early gas, and Kas going for Socke's taking an early gas. He's going to be able to get that warp gate out very quickly, and he's going to be able to probably do his 2 Stalker, 1 Zealot early pressure that he did in the last game. But both these players are going for that, you know, early expansion type build that we've seen, so we're going to have to really see or wait to view what they're going to have coming for us. There are no harvesters on the simulator now. That has been changed since he's building that cybernetics core. You don't need the probes on the simulator before there's even anything to spend the gas on, unless you're building up for it. So he's going to build up to 50, and then after he has his 50, he'll start, excuse me, that's just really stupid of what I was about to say. But anyway, he needs his gas production now because he's going to have some stalkers coming out behind this. He has not dropped any more gateways as of yet because he doesn't have any warp gate, and if he doesn't drop any more gateways before then, we won't see the stalker pressure that we saw out of the other ones. But okay, he's just doing a probe transfer. I thought he was about to do another warp in. The bunker's going down for Kas. Very safe play out of him. He is known for his heavy Marine Marauder medevac type play. He's a very biocentric player. Socke, we saw in the last game, he tried for a little bit of a robo-centric play. I mean, gateway units were heavily mixed in, but you can't call it a gateway-centric thing when there's any higher tech, because they end up becoming support units at that point. He was trying to maneuver his Colossus in place so that they could do the heavy damage, not the stalkers and stuff like that. So he had all his sentries there, poised to do some force fields so that the Colossi can move forward. When you have Stargate units with a gateway composition, they're support units. But when you have a heavy hitting thing like a Colossus, or you have Templar and Archons or something like that, then you have to, I would label it, you know, Templar Archive specific. But enough rambling. We have a robotics facility coming in and another gateway, so we aren't going to see the 2-gate pressure or 2 stalker pressure that we saw out of Socke in the last 2 games. He's continuing just to move forward and scout the map, keep his Zelnaga towers completely under control, and he's continuing to probe up back home. When he builds this robotics facility, we'll see what he wants to really do, but he needs to drop another couple of pylons if he's going to keep up with this production, because he's going to need, when this warp gate finishes, he's going to need all of the pylons he can get, because Immortals are expensively supply units. But he's going to go for the Observer first, and then he'll probably drop an Immortal behind that once he gets a couple of gates. And oh, he's hiding these from a scan, a possible scan that could come in here. You see a lot of players, they do scans like right here or anything like that. A lot of players against Terran will not build anything right here because the Protoss or the Terran can put tanks here and shoot all the way into the base, knocking out key pylons and killing the production of a Protoss or something along those lines. The factories are starting to come in for Katowice, which means he's going to go for that starport, and we will see him go for medevacs, reactive medevacs right away, because he's going for a more biocentric play. You can see him getting his eBay upgrades right now, and when he gets his factory, he'll drop an armory and probably another eBay just to keep up with his upgrades, because the upgrades of his Protoss opponent are starting to come in. He hasn't gotten extended thermal lens yet, which is he's probably saving up for right now. The Colossus production has begun, and the warp gates have finished. Building another couple of warp gates behind this just to increase the pressure. Empire Katowice coming across without any medevacs, he's going to be able to scout this and see what he's up against, and Socke is going to probably do some reinforcement since he's got enough bank. He knows that there's something else coming. He doesn't know. He does know what, because he's got this observer. And he's going to see everything. He's going to see that he really shouldn't be afraid, especially with this Colossus coming in right now. Even on the high ground, with 7 range, it can do some serious damage against unmedevaced units. So he's going to push back the Terran player, and Katowice is going to go home, reinforce with these guys, and get some serious medevac production going. If he wanted to, he could probably afford getting another starport going and expanding, I would think. But we are going to see the first Colossus attack coming out of Socke right now. He's a little down in supply, but he's going to put down a forward pylon whenever he can, and he's going to pull back until he gets some reinforcements. He sees that when these two armies met up, that he is down right now in supply. He's taking a third of his own, which is kind of ballsy, seeing as he's down 20 supply right now. And he's continuing to tech hard. He's going into that Templar Archive tech, and he's getting a huge amount of splash damage against the biocentric play of the Terran player, which is always a good thing to do, especially when they all clump up like that. If you have an opponent who doesn't split very much, like we haven't seen Katowice really split because he hasn't had to. You shouldn't split against Colossi if you can help, if you can, because even against any splash damage, you should be able to split, and it doesn't look like Katowice is going to waste a scan on that observer, but he is being completely observed by his Protoss opponent, who's still down 20 supply, but he can warp in a number of units to really... Wow, that was a beautiful force field. Those Marines had no chance at all with those Zealots that were coming in. Their legs are going to be charged even earlier than we saw in that last game. Looks like Katowice realized his mistake, so we're going to see that there is... Is he going to be able to see this Templar Archives? He's not moving forward at all. He's just seeing that there is third base, and Katowice put down his own third base, and we're going to just continue to see the macro play out of these guys. It's probably going to end up as a huge battle at max. It's going to be very upgraded based, and really going to have to see whose micro is better and whose storms, it looks like. Or looks like Socke's storms are going to play a big part in this. This Colossus can get up there, but it can't shoot up, so it doesn't get to attack the factory. This forward pylon has not been scouted by Katowice, so it's going to be some pretty bad Zealot runarounds that Socke utilized in the last game that were killed over 40 SCVs during the entire game. So he's going to probably continue to do that, especially when he sees that Katowice is going to be completely across the map. There are no home warp-ins for a Terran player, and Vikings are in trouble if they get sniped off before they can start attacking this Colossus. The Colossus is going to melt before it even gets a shot off on the main Terran army, and the Terran is so far ahead, and he just is at all knowledgeable of this fact. He's going to move forward and start seriously attacking the Protoss. Pardon me, I need to take a drink when I can. But there's only one medevac out here right now. If it gets feedback, then it's going to be a problem. Ooh, did he get any? He got two SCVs so far. Actually, that was probably from that first phase. Killing off the SCV is going on. Not really. The storms are perfect though, and Katowice is just walking directly into them, you should be more careful. Costs you only have 3 medevacs with less than half energy, and they will spend all of their energy trying to heal up this army. If you keep stimming like this, and there are any more Templar in the way, he's continuing to stim. If he gets Templar shot at least once during this whole thing, he's going to lose so many of these units. He's continuing to push forward. That's not so good. The ghosts are on the way right now, and Koss is going to be able to keep pushing forward and destroy. Did you see those storms I was talking about? Huge storms wiping out the entirety of Koss's main forward army. He's going to lift up and he's going to try to run as fast as he can home. There is no chase coming from Socke because he's so far down in units, and he only had 3 stalkers to try to blink forward and take out those medevacs. There is a factory back here, so he knows how much tech that Socke has right now, and Koss is continuing to move forward with his own production. We don't see a 3rd starport out of him yet, but we do see that factory and that 2nd eBay that we were talking about. There's the 2nd one, and he's got 3-1 right now in upgrades, and he probably should spend more of his money on getting those extra upgrades. He's getting level 3. He only was on 2-1. And the ghosts are coming out. They're going to be able to EMP and snipe the Templar attack. Since he saw that there was a Templar archives, he dropped that ghost camming right away, and he's going to try to do his best to micro forward. I don't know if he has cloak yet, but he doesn't really need it if he can get some decent EMPs off. The Terran player is at home, and it looks like the Protoss player, Socke, is going to be the one who moves across next. The 4th base is down for Koss, and he's able to really start chunking out his mineral production right now. He's going to be able to back up a number of more barracks on top of this. Where is he going to place them all, though? That's a good question. This map is it's got a very large base, but it fills up quickly for Terrans because they can't keep their production facilities close together. With the Zerg, you only have hatcheries. Oh, great storms defensively on Socke's side, but those huge AMPs on that forming Archon are... Sorry about that. I was rendered speechless by that storm on the Ghost. The thing about Ghosts, though, is they are so hit point heavy. It takes 4 in-game seconds for a Psi Storm to do all of its damage, and if the Ghost stood there for the entire time, it would still be fine, especially with medevacs right behind it. So the Ghost was in not a sad shape, being stormed by those Templar. If the Templar were able to feed back a full energy Ghost, that would do a lot more damage for less energy on the Templar side. And it looks like Koss is going to keep run home. If he lets Socke get to max, it's his fault. You know, he needs to keep up the pressure. He needs to keep EMPing these Templar, and I think he's playing a little bit too timidly right now. Socke is able to reinforce. He's getting serious anti-bio forces right now. He's got multiple Archons. He's got a huge amount of charge lots. He's going to get ground weapons level 2 right now, and he's going to be the one who puts on some serious pressure. Even with EMPs, the Zealots have very low shields to begin with, so they're not the ones that are going to be really hurt by these EMPs. And I don't think that Socke, I think Koss is a little too macro heavy right now. He's got a huge bank. When you're maxed, you need to put on pressure. You need to keep up pressure, especially when you've got a bank like this. And he does not need to be attacking up a ramp. Oh my goodness! With this huge amount of Ghosts right now, his supply is very large, but he doesn't have as many units attacking at the same time. Since they are +3 versus light, you see they do 26 damage. That's 4 shots kill a Zealot, especially with all of these Marines and Marauders here. They're going to be able to do some serious damage. Huge storm attempted on him. He's just continuing to micro back. He's got some units in the medevac he needs to put down. I think he was a misclick on that one. Knocking out some of the supply. He's going to be able to... Oh, I guess Socke is oversupplied right now. A big probe transfer, that's actually probably a pretty bad idea. Socke has got some decent Templar storms on, especially on these Vikings. You can see they're not going to be able to attack the Colossi, and that's probably going to be a big deal because taking out those Vikings is a huge boon to Socke. You just see how quickly Koss is melting under these storms and the Colossi fire. You see 5 kills, 3 kills, 2 kills. Now Katowice, he let Socke get to max. As I was talking about, very AoE heavy. Protoss against Bio is this probably one of the scariest compositions comparisons you can do, and Socke is taking his time to come forward and punish the Terran player. He sees that he's starting to turtle up and get some planetary fortress, but he's going to run right into the natural, completely cutting off reinforcements. Katowice is not going to be able to react quick enough like this. He's going to bring in all of his SCVs and take them home. But there are no force fields for Terrans. He's not going to be able to block this push coming up the ramp, and the Colossi in the back are just going to start completely destroying all of these production facilities. This huge, great micro choke in the main, but there are blink forward from the Stalkers, and the Archon is just doing a heavy amount of damage. You see they do 43 damage to Bio units, and they're just, oh my goodness, there's so much death right now on the Terran side of things. You can hear the death screams, the death knells of the Terran player, and Socke is going to be the one who takes Game 3, leading the series 2-1. We'll see you in Game 4 in just a second, guys. From Chaotic TV, I'm KO. Thanks for watching. Cheers.